All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Bald Feather Bets. We're going to do a real quick video for you today. Just final thoughts on college football week 1, and then a little bit of look ahead into NFL week 1 and college football week 2. So final thoughts, and I talked a little bit about this. I essentially think that all of our top teams that lost are going to be fine outside of Alabama. I don't really think that there's a way that you can guarantee that at this point, given what was a lot of fundamental issues when it came to gap soundness on defense, filling your run gaps, and then also, unfortunately, what looked like almost like a lack of effort. And that's something that we haven't seen in Alabama in over 2 decades. So it's something that in this situation, we can't just give that a check mark. Looking at the 3 other specific teams that lost, and when I came to you guys before, I'd done film on Texas, Ohio State. I'd done the film on Clemson, LSU. I'd not had the opportunity yet to do it on Miami and Notre Dame, and I did a little bit of that last night into this morning. I think out of the 3 teams, the one who should feel the most confident is Texas in that situation. They should have won the game based on just statistics and where everything was at in terms of that. And really the only reason that they didn't was poor QB play, which the ceiling and the upside there at the QB side is high. It's why I think a good futures bet right now is Texas national title, just in terms of a value standpoint. I think the one that should feel the worst out of the 3 is Notre Dame. I actually was quite impressed with CJ Carr, but there were some things on defense that was kind of what I suspected Notre Dame actually was a little bit last year, and you know, we were kind of Notre Dame haters. We bet on them actually, but I just always said that they weren't as good as they were performing to be, and a lot of that stuff showed up. I wouldn't look at a value play on Notre Dame right now unless you were to consider a value on Notre Dame make the CFB, but I wouldn't do it. I kind of think that they won't. So I just don't think that the value was good enough after that first game loss to Miami. Then the other value play right now is Clemson to win the ACC, given that Miami won that first game and Clemson lost their first game, and kind of the manners in which they did. I absolutely think Clemson's going to be fine. I immediately saw the improvements on defense from Tom Allen. I just think Blake Baker got Garrett Riley and he got Cade Klubnik, just like Matt Patricia got Steve Sarkisian and got Arch Manning. I really think that's what that game came down to. Clemson's going to be fine. You're going to see that LSU offense obliterate some teams, and Clemson actually did a decent job with them. And they were much more fundamentally sound, especially in their run fits and gaps, even just immediately in game 1 than they were last year. So I do think Clemson will be perfectly fine. Other thoughts: Utah looks like they're potentially. We told you that we thought they were a good futures bet in the Big 12. They potentially look like they could be a bit of a class above the rest of the Big 12. Obviously, TCU last night looked very good. We were on TCU. I want to see how much of that is just that North Carolina is absolutely terrible roster-wise, and how much of it is that TCU is actually that good. We said it going into last night, that line didn't make any sense from a talent, roster, all that stuff standpoint. TCU is competing for a Big 12 title, and North Carolina is in a full rebuild. So then what are we looking at looking ahead to this week? We've already made 2 plays in the NFL that we've given out to you. Unfortunately, the first one is Dallas plus 7.5 at 2 units. We did that before Micah Parsons got traded. And so obviously, hopefully you didn't make the play when we gave it out. And so now you have an opportunity to get them at even a better number. I still like Dallas and the points in this one. It's too many points for a division rivalry game, all that fun stuff. And week 1 having a healthy Dak and a healthy CD. And then I also, when I gave the pick out, included a healthy Micah in that. Long term, I don't believe this to be true, but specifically for this game, specifically going up against the Eagles, a elite defensive tackle who is a run stopper might be a bigger deal for you than an elite edge rusher. Overall in the NFL, an elite edge rusher is by far a bigger deal and more value. But one of the things that doesn't do much for you against the Eagles because of the way they run their system with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. He's not a standard drop back passer who's sitting back in the pocket 50 times a game and can absolutely get smacked around and killed. They do stuff off of play action. Everything centers through their run game, and then they do stuff off of play action, rollout, small drop backs, all that stuff. He does throw deep bombs. Don't come at me with saying that I don't watch the Eagles. I do. But if you're really going to stop that Eagles defense, an elite DT is of more value to you than an elite pass rusher. It just is. So we still like the Cowboys there. I think you can even get it at 8.5 now. So I don't see it getting out too much further than that, because then you're getting pretty crazy. I mean, we're talking about, at this point, the Eagles-Cowboys line is the largest line in the NFL Week 1. That's crazy. Like that. I mean, I don't get me wrong, the Eagles are good, but that's crazy. That is a lot of Dallas hate right there, and I get it. They underperformed hard. I don't think Schottenheimer's probably all that great, but that's a huge number. And then the other one we gave you guys was Giants +7. That was for 1 unit. Hopefully you guys grabbed that, because you can't grab it anymore. I think you can get it at 6 or 6.5 against the Commanders. A lot of that has to do with just look at the numbers in terms of Russell Wilson and 1 touchdown games. Essentially every game that Russell Wilson plays in is a single game score. Not every, obviously, but a majority of what he plays in is a single game score. Even when he loses or when he wins, it doesn't really matter. So then other things that we're looking at. In the NFL, we're probably going to be on quite a few. We're going to be on quite a few underdogs. I mean, we're always on underdogs here at Bald Feather Bets, but we're going to be on quite a few underdogs. Like I can almost already tell you we're going to be on Cleveland over Cincy. Don't ask me to explain why, we just are. I can almost guarantee you we're going to be on like New Orleans. Well, New Orleans, Arizona, we'll see. That line might be high enough to where our play will actually be Arizona. But we'll see. We'll see how the line movement happens, or lack thereof line movement, as I always like to say. I do suspect us to be on some short favorites, though. I would suspect that we're going to be on the Packers over the Lions. I would suspect potentially Friday night. I really don't know how that one's going to go in terms of Chargers-Chiefs, but with a line at 3, it's very key. So we're going to keep monitoring that one. I suspect we may be on the Colts as a short favorite over the Dolphins. We're still monitoring a lot of these as we get closer to kickoff. So be on the lookout for that. Cannot wait for NFL to start. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for NFL to start. And then in college, we're actually going to play more games this week than we played last week. I just based on the number of games we're watching for reads versus how many we were watching for reads last week. Even if we only play 75% of them or so, we would be on more games. A lot of them day games. Baylor, SMU, Illinois, Duke, and we're going to have a play on that. Actually, I'm going to give it to you as an official pick here today. Iowa, Iowa State, USF, Florida. We're definitely going to play that one. OU, Michigan. That one's a night game. Potentially Ole Miss, Kentucky. There's some others, those 3:30 window games that we're on as well. But huge list in terms of what we're monitoring right now that ultimately may go into plays. And then the one play that we're locking in right now, we're locking in Duke +3.5 against Illinois. Yeah, it's insane. You are going to see a very large theme here, probably throughout a lot of the year, of the we fade Illinois a lot. I mean, until the market finds out that they're not good, then obviously. But while the market still thinks that they're a good football team, we're going to be fading Illinois quite a bit this year. So anyway, Duke +3.5. That one's for a unit. Most of our college football plays this week are just going to be for a unit. We're not. There's not too many big numbers, big games that we feel we can get an an advantage on. And obviously the main difference right now in us being up quite a bit versus the fact that we're at 16-9 right now is that 10-unit loss on Texas +4. You take that away, we're 16-9. If you flip it, we're 26-9, which would have been wild. But anyway, we'll get there. Not worried about it. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys. We'll be at you again for sure Thursday before that game kicks off. A little bit more of an in-depth preview in Eagles Cowboys, but we will maybe try and post and get at you again tomorrow night as well. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. We got 2 off days, no football, and we are right back at it on Thursday. Have a great night.